Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good with you all high sweets? What's going on this morning? Y'all know the tune, y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. I got the con man with me this morning. We should have Bishop tapping in, maybe the professor, the commissioner, the people's coach, CC. We got a packed full show of debates, conversations going on. It's First Formation Morning Sports Talk, presented to you by E2G Sports Network. Mike, what's good this morning? How you doing, brother?
Brother, I'm doing very well. Looking forward to this morning's topics. I think it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for it to go.
I definitely agree. I agree with that as well. So tell us a little something about this. This is the first time the high speeds and First Formation personnel seeing you. Give us a little background. Tell us a little something about yourself, sir.
You know, I really don't like talking about myself too much, but I am retired from the Department of Corrections after over 30 years. I've been a referee for over 35 years.
Another official, okay.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Right now, I'm involved with the what they call the Burgo Basketball Association, where I'm a referee and part of the organization. I also was a former player. I played collegiate ball. Tried to overseas, didn't make it, but I tried overseas, and I am blessed to have a great group of friends who are doing big things in the United States, and I have a lot of contacts, and I'm very happy that I'm involved with the Sports Empire Network. I have my own show on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. called Sports Corner with the Con Man, and then I also have a show with the network on Friday evening at 10 p.m. It's called And One Podcast, where we do the same thing we're going to be doing this morning. We're going to debate, and we have a great time. Great people, great time.
Yes, indeed. So for you, you said didn't make it, but you said played overseas. What was the biggest hurdles in which you encountered in the overseas in your overseas journey?
Well, you remember I'm old as dirt, so you know when I played college ball. They didn't have all the, all the social media and all the things, when I was in college. So the scouting was very minimal, and you had to really, they really didn't have much film to look on you at that particular time. And the tryouts were held in New Jersey. And I don't know, you guys your listeners may not know, but there was a couple of guys from Syracuse who came from a bigger university than what I did. Sometimes that does give a little bit of weight, especially back then. The trials were really, really intense. I mean, you had a lot of people, playing for jobs. There wasn't as many jobs back then. Another thing too. So you had to play your, off in order to even get an opportunity. So I found out that the biggest difference for me was the size. In college, the most biggest guy was like 6'7", 6'8". But when I tried, there was a lot of 7-footers, a lot of real quick, athletic individuals, and I held my own, but apparently it wasn't good enough. So, you know what I mean? I learned from that, though. And that's right from there, I took off and went to the officiating business as well.
Okay. And how is, I know Bishop, when he tap in, he does officiating there on the side. And do you feel that connection still to the game through the officiating?
1,000%. When you, first of all, it keeps you in the game. Keep you active, and you can bring something to the table if, I believe if you're a former player. Sometimes you go strictly by the book. But if you're a former player, you have a more of a feel of the game. From both sides, from almost every angle. I think you can bring a lot more to the table than someone who just reads a book and takes a test.
And It's yeah, definitely. I think that's some of the stuff in which Bishop talks about too, being a favorite former player. Well, not player to your extent, but playing the game for the most part, which
Right.
gives you something when you're looking at like, okay, I'm making this call, or would I had made this call? Would I had wanted this call against me? Things of that sort. So definitely, some things to definitely take for it. What's good? The people's coach tapped in. What's good? What's good? What's going on, Caduce? How you doing there, sir? Oh, he must. Cornelius, you there? Oh, we'll get in. But yeah, so definitely, definitely. So of course, we was having a conversation last Friday. Some way it come up where someone had brung up a couple of topics. So and we're going to definitely get to those topics in a few. But there was a couple of games last night. Uh, 5 games total. I just knew I was kind of amped for a second. I saw I looked up and the Lakers was up with 4 minutes left in the game. I was feeling kind of good until I blinked my eyes and looked up. There was an overtime, and then blinked again and looked up. It was like it was like nothing, no fight whatsoever. But in case we're gonna talk about some of these current topics before we get into those nostalgic ones, of course. But you know what, Con man, this is the first time on here. I got a question for you, kind of like to get the juices going, right? So I have a question for you. Who would be your Mount Rushmore of basketball?
First question of the morning, boy. You hit me hard. Okay.
Yeah, let's get it. 4 heads, 4 figureheads. Who would be your Mount Rushmore of NBA basketball?
Okay. You know, it really is not that difficult. I think
Okay.
if you really look at it, in my opinion, of course, there's going to be people who are going to disagree with me. First and foremost, I have to go with the man who changed the game. Matter of fact, there's 2, but I'll go with one.
Mm-hmm.
He goes by the name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh,
I would have to start off with him, NBA's all-time leading scorer. Changed the game, changed the face of collegiate basketball as well as the NBA. He would be first on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I would probably have to go with. I'm going to go with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan obviously transformed the NBA, made the NBA the way it is. And then I'm going to have to go with. I'm going to go with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Those are my 4.
That's your Mount Rushmore.
Here's my answer why.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, because the reason. Oh, no. Here's my reason. What players have made the most difference in the way the game is played today? Magic and Bird saved the NBA. They were in financial ruins. And what they contributed to the NBA, they made the game more viable. If you remember, when Magic Johnson's very first rookie year, when they beat Philadelphia, that game wasn't even televised live.
Correct.
It was on delay. So when I'm talking about more impact, that's why I look at it. If you're going to talk about Mount Rushmore, I think you got to talk about the impact that these players have made. And to me, those 4 have made probably the most impact of all the other ones.
Okay, I'll definitely go keep that in mind as we go deeper into the conversations today. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let me see who just tapped in. So I'm definitely gonna keep those in mind. So last night, of course, like I said, a slate of 5 games. First up, the Sacramento Kings and the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers get the win, a 20-point blowout over the Kings, the hot streaking Kings. The Kings have been a hot team for the beginning first half of the season, of the beginning. Philadelphia led by 31 points from Joel Embiid. Who would expect differently? 31.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 15 assists from James Harden. Shake Milton, 14 points, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists from George Niang. 21 points from Tobias Harris, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. And kind of that's where it falls off. Everyone else, Korsmach, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 points from PJ Tucker. I don't understand why they brought PJ Tucker to Philly, but maybe y'all can set up and shed some light on that momentarily. For the Kings, Domantas Sabonis, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Darren Fox. 7 points, 1 assist from Kevin Huerter, 16 points from Malik Young, 12 points from Terrence Mann, 5 from Terrence Davis, Donovan Mitchell, Davian Mitchell contributed with 2 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Keegan Murray, 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Like I said, the Kings fall to the Philadelphia 76ers 123-103. I thought the Kings frauds. What you think, Kyle, man? You think the Kings are frauds, or did they just run into a superior 76er team on this night?
I think Philadelphia is finally coming into play. Mm-hmm. James Harden seems to look like similar to what he used to be. He's in way better condition right now. And you got to remember, they're playing without Maxey. So correct. For them to be playing as well as they are, Tobias Harris seems to be more of a consistent ball player. So I think Philadelphia is going to be a team to be reckoned with as the season goes along. And Embiid is playing out of his mind. He's just a beast. I mean, I haven't really seen a big man with that potential. I mean, inside, outside, can dribble it up, he can pass, he can shoot, he can rebound. He does everything well. So I think Sacramento, it's a long season, and teams have days where they just they don't have it. But Sacramento, young and up and coming team, like you said, Sabonis, Fox is playing out of his mind. Yes. I think Sacramento is not a fluke. I think they're going to be another team to be dealt with. And I think the West right now we are unsure what's going to happen in the Western Conference, because I think it's a lot of parity in that conference. And I think it's going to be up into who's playing good at the end of the regular season and see what they get seeded in the playoff situation.
What's good, CC? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Y'all good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The same question to you, man. You think Sacramento's a fluke? Are they frauds, or you think they just ran into a buzzsaw last night against Philadelphia?
I think they're on the cusp of something. I don't think they're there yet. I wouldn't call them a fraud. I would just say they just not there yet. Hopefully by the end of this season, you'll see where they really are. But as the games go on and other teams get geared up, man, it's gonna get tougher. So you'll see where they are.
Okay. So next game, before we really get into the meat and potatoes, Golden State faced off against Milwaukee Bucks. As we know, the Golden State Warriors are last year's champions, doing the best that they can. Now they're starting to sit up and play against some of the top and elite team talent in the NBA. Of course, last night they played against the second best team in the NBA, second best in the in their conference, the Eastern Conference as well. The Milwaukee Bucks. And they fall, of course, 128-111. The Warriors, led by a 20-point outing, Steph Curry, of course, 6 rebounds, 1 assist to go along. 19 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists from Jonathan Kuminga. As we know, they're trying to get him into the fold, trying to build that core, a new core of players. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists of Dante DiVincenzo. 14 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists from Klay Thompson. Draymond, 2 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. 5 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Jordan Poole, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. 3 points from JaMychal Green, 6 points from Patrick Baldwin Jr. For the Bucks, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists from Chris Middleton, who's back in the fold. 25 points, 11 rebounds from Bobby Portis off the bench. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists from Grayson Allen. Javon Carter, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Brook Lopez, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. 3 points from Marjon Beauchamp. Wesley Matthews with 5 points, 2 points apiece from Thanis and AJ Green. And of course, Pat Connaughton, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. As you hear the stats, it seems like it's a lot of bench work going on in Milwaukee. Gentlemen, do you think having a deep bench is effective in this day's league, or do you just need a good 6 to 7 man rotation and that'll get the job done?
Got to have a good bench.
Got to have a good bench. You have to. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, if you go with a 6 to 7 man rotation, and you get an injury to one or two of your players,
Mm-hmm.
then what happens? And injuries in the NBA, you've seen how like a strain or something like that can
Oh yeah.
it can a week or two. So yeah, you got to have a good bench. Doesn't matter how good you're playing right now. It's all about the long haul, the long stretch.
Con-Man, people's coach.
I think that you have to have a bench because this, as we stated prior to, I mean, injuries are always occurring. Sometimes you lose 2 or 3 players at a time, but you still want to keep that momentum that you generally have. So when you go to the bench, you don't want to fall too far off the bench. And with the fact of Milwaukee, I mean, George Hill, experienced veteran player, Wesley Matthews, experienced player, Serge Ibaka. You know what I mean? That you have a good nucleus, and then you get the man who I think has rejuvenated his career somewhat. He's been Bobby Portis is another one. But you know who might be rejuvenating their career is Brook Lopez. If you've been checking him out, he is coming to play. I mean, he can hit that 3-point shot. When he first came in the league, he couldn't even do that. So to answer your question, you got to have a bench because you're going to have a rotating bench because, again, you got E2 games, travel, illness, injuries. You got to have a very strong bench. And if you notice, in most teams that win championships, they do have a very distinguished bench. They might not be all superstars, but they're role players who contribute greatly to the Milwaukee Bucks and any other team that has visions of going further in the playoffs.
The other thing about having a good bench is the games you're supposed to win.
CC, you agree? What's that, listener?
I was just going to say that. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was listening.
No, I was going to say that the reason why you also want to have a good bench is because the games you're supposed to win against, 500 or sub 500 or just above 500 teams, if you have an injury but you have a great bench, you don't really lose any momentum. You basically keep the party going, and then when those guys come back, you're continuing that momentum and playing even better. So, yeah, I mean, a bench helps you, but those games that you have to win against teams that are below 500 or at the 500 mark, you're able to keep that going.
All right, Cornelius, you was about to say?
I was just gonna say I agree with him for the regular season, but I think when it comes postseason, we all know you got to shorten that down. Regular season, yeah, I think bench is real important. Postseason, you've seen that when they do shorten the rotations down, it works for some teams. It works better for some teams. Like you look right now, the Clippers are deep, but they've been playing their bench most of the year, right? But they've been doing it the last few years without Kawhi and Paul George, with them in and out of the lineup, and it doesn't yield any fruit when it comes to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like they come up short every time when they have to go to that bench. So I think that it's important in the regular season, but in the postseason, you're gonna need your core guys to step up.
So to even take this conversation a little further, like we're talking about the bench, right? We just got finished talking about the Sacramento Kings, but if we remember, it was the bench mob from the Sacramento Kings that almost took the Lakers out. You talk about Doug Christie. What Doug Christie started, digging me. Who was on the bench mob? He just got. I'll have to look it up to bring up those names exactly. But
Matt Barnes.
No, Matt Barnes was for Sacramento. When he played, was he on the bench in Sacramento?
Yes, he was. Yes,
It
he
was.
was.
Damn. Let me see. Bench mob. But this is like what y'all was talking about. That did something, and it was even in. I think it did something more so in the playoffs than it did for the regular season. But I mean, they was deep. Let me see, so I can make sure I got the right. Was Pager a part of the bench mob? I thought he was a starter.
Pager was a starter.
Yeah, he was a starter.
Pager starter.
Pager's the starter. I mean, they didn't. I mean, Sacramento had a good bench, but compared to the Lakers, I mean, you know, when you like the gentleman was saying before about the playoffs, look who the Clippers go to though. You know, when they go to their bench, I mean, who do they have to go to? You know, their bench wasn't solid like the Lakers bench during those championship years. I mean, when the Lakers went to the bench, I mean, they were going to the bench with like Brian Shaw.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, they were going to the bench with
So
they were going
yeah,
to the bench with what's my man who used to play for Sacramento? Um, uh, I mean, they had Glenn Rice coming off the bench.
Didn't
They
they
had
have
Ron
Hurley?
Harper. They had
If I'm
Robert
correct.
Horry coming off the
Yes, he hit
bench. They
that
had
three,
right.
that big shot as
yeah,
usual.
You had
they
Robert Ory.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm getting, gotta get my
I
memory
mean,
going. Yeah, I
now
remember him.
they had spells where they didn't play well, but I mean, I'm a Laker fan, so I know all the Lakers. You know, so and the Sacramento Kings had a bench and they tried them, but really the biggest problem that the Lakers had was that no one could stay close to Mike Bibby, right? I mean, Phil Jackson's teams notoriously have had problems with smaller guards. I don't care if it's Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant; they've always had problems with smaller guards. But the at the end of the day, um, you know, who you go to on the bench is like you can say, okay, we have a bench, right? Everybody has a bench. You have 6 or 12, 6 players that you know you look at after those first 5. But if those 6 players are starters on any other team, then you're good. I look at Jordan Farmar in the way the Lakers played in those back-to-back years of 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Farmar is a starter in any other NBA team. The way he was playing, right? It's just Shannon Brown. The way those
Oh,
guys were playing back then, Lamar Odom, those guys are starters any other place. So if those guys are starters in the NBA on any other team and they're on your bench, you solid.
one point we didn't bring up is also when you break down the playoffs. You know, it's not one game or 2 games. It may be a 7-game series. So what happens is that's when you break things down because now you're looking at film. You're looking at more film. You're going to look at what kind of strategy you're going to have, what kind of things that can help you against whatever team it is you're going. And you're going to look at mostly matchups. Where can you be successful in the matchups that you have? And it makes the game a little bit more difficult because you know everything that the other team is going to be doing. So when you put players from the bench, they have to be effective as far as what actually is the role player's role, and also what is the other team you're playing. Some teams like to run. Some teams like to slow it down. Some teams like to go in the post. Some teams like to shoot from the perimeter. So you get a lot more time to study and prepare as opposed to a regular season. So that's why I think benches, you see them shortening up to maybe 8 or 9 man rotation because they already know how to experience from watching all the films, etc.
I agree. So of course it was another question that has sparked once we was having this conversation. Oh, back to what Commissioner was saying about the 500 teams, right? So true enough, 500 teams, like you said, you expect them to beat them, but in this particular case, the Golden State Warriors are a 500 team.
Yeah.
Is there any particular passes giving to the Golden State Warrior or team in such a manner as Golden State where they're 500, but historically in the last couple of years, that hasn't been their place. Is that something which you still watch out for, or do you look at it as they're 500, they are what their record is, and we're gonna look at them as such?
Well, you're 500 for a reason. Okay, there's a reason why you're 500. Now, it could be injuries, it could be just you're not playing in a good stretch right now, but you're 500 for a reason. So until you give us a reason to where you're not 500, like maybe you're 10 games above 500 or something like that.
It got to be 10 games, Commissioner. It's got to be 10 games of 500.
Yeah, you're not. To me, if you're a 500 team, look, in 94, 95, when the Rockets won their second championship, them jokers barely made the playoffs. Now, once they make the playoffs, your regular season, that don't matter. It's all about Steph Curry, whoever's on that team. The regular season, once it's over, the playoffs is a whole new season.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rockets showed that, you can come into a playoff situation. All you need to do is get a ticket to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a ticket to the dance, I mean, you're good. Like, nobody cares. You ask the Nuggets when they beat the Seattle Supersonics in the 90s.
They
They didn't care about They didn't care about no 500 teams that have been down 3-1. Playoff your record doesn't matter, and you can be beat, and you'll be singing that sad song. But at the end of the day, but if you're 500, and if Golden State sits around 500 all season long, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. If they're not above 10 games by February, they're a 500 team.
And something too, I want to bring out, which I think is important. Look who Golden State lost. Look who they lost. Look, the players that have left. When teams win championships, that's why there's not as many dynasties, because once they get that ring, a lot of them just go get the money and they don't stay together. Look at who they lost last year that made a major impact for them winning the championship. If you guys look, Jr. There you go. That's one. There's another one too. There's a couple that made a major difference as well.
Damian Lee left.
Yeah, and then you look at that. I think that makes a great point. I mean, you picked up. Who would you pick up? You picked up DiVincenzo or whatever his name is. And Kuminga's going to be a very good ball player pretty soon. But I think you lost more than what you gained, and I think they depended on them guys a little bit more last year, especially in the playoffs, because they came up big. So sometimes when you win championships, man, you start losing your nucleus or the main focus off the bench, and it does make a difference.
Yeah, but nobody wants to say this, but the bottom line is, let's just be for real. Klay Thompson's not playing like Klay Thompson.
Right.
Not.
And that's where I was going with it.
Klay Thompson's a 17, 18, 19, 20 person player. He's a 20-point a game. This guy scores 60 in a game. He's not playing like Klay Thompson. If he plays like Klay Thompson of 2015 to 2018, they're not a 500 ball club. Klay Thompson was a guy who could carry you for weeks. Steph Curry could be on a shooting thing. He could carry that team for month on, month off. That's just how good he was. He's not playing like that now.
CC, you was about to say?
That's what I was going to say. Like, the pieces are not stepping up for Golden State right now. Like he said, Klay Thompson, I think that's a huge one. I was one of those that was saying that they might think about benching Klay until and let him work his way back into it, because they're suffering early on with him on the court. If you saw any of the game last night, if y'all watched any of the game last night, especially third quarter and on, Klay was good the first quarter, but after that, so many wide open shots and shots that he would normally hit cost him heavily, especially in a game where Giannis was like 9 for 30 or whatever, 9 for 26. He didn't even shoot well. Yeah. Like the other team stars didn't even shoot well. They just got ran off the court because they were missing shots.
Mm-hmm. It happens to the best of us sometimes. So next game up, of course, the Phoenix Suns faced off against the Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets, I ain't gonna say they're there yet, but I think they're gonna continue to be who they are, and they're gonna at some point start clicking. The more talent you encounter, I think that's gonna be key for them. The Suns, however, they didn't need that type of talent last night. The Suns fall to the Rockets 97-111. Phoenix now 16-12 on the season. They were just the leading team in the West. The Rockets now 9-18. The Suns led by I ain't gonna say a dismal 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists from Mikal Bridges, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists from Chris Paul, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists from Landry Shamet, 10 points from Josh Okogie, 7 points from Torrey Craig, DeAndre Ayton, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 14 minutes to play. You didn't see Devin Booker last night. Cameron Payne, 9 points, 7 points from Jock Landale, and Ish Wainwright contributed with 1 rebound. The Rockets, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists from Jalen Green. Kevin Porter contributed 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds from Jabari Smith, their rookie stud. Alperen Sengun, 10 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 points from Kenyon Martin Jr., Terry Easton with 10 points, 8 points from Garrison Matthews, as well as 8 points from the addition Knicks. What do you guys think about the Houston Rockets? I mean, yes, as we just said, your record is what it is, 9-18. Do you see them getting better this season, or do we still have some seasons to wait?
I guess I'll jump in. You know, you got to remember they got 2 top picks.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kevin Porter Jr. Jabari Smith, and they also got my man who's playing out of his mind is Green. And you got to remember when they gave up James Harden, they received a lot of picks. So I think that they're gonna, like you said, record is what it is. But I think they're gonna be an up and coming team. They got a lot of youth. They got a great coach. By the way, which I have to give a little props. I'm really real sad about his dad, Paul Siles, who passed away from the Celtics. So I'm really upset about that. But anyway, yeah, they have an up and coming team. They're gonna go through their rough spots, but again, with the picks that they're gonna have, better watch out.
Is Chris Paul done?
Oh,
he's been done in my opinion, but my thing with Chris Paul is the overhypeness of Chris Paul. I respect what he's done, and longevity, but overall, a couple of years ago they tried to give him a championship. He still couldn't get it. I just look at it like Chris Paul is overrated for what happens with his teams year after year, and he's unreliable. He's always hurt. Like we talk about Anthony Davis being hurt a lot, Kawhi being hurt a lot, not playing. But in the most crucial moments, every season something happens with Chris Paul. He's always nursing an injury somewhere. Something's always going on with him. He's unreliable when they need him the most.
I don't know. I think Chris Paul is, first of all, he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul is definitely he's a great basketball player, but he just can't get it done. I think a lot of that stuff with Chris Paul is more mental, not owning his situation. Chris Paul's been in situations time and time again where he's absent. He's AWOL. He's AWOL from the show. We wouldn't be having this conversation about Chris Paul if he lost a game 7, but he had 40 points, 15 assists, and 7 rebounds. People would be like, that's the greatest performance we've ever seen. We don't talk about guys that we know lay their heart out there on the floor. They don't have that. But when a team needs Chris Paul in a game 7, his numbers are around 12, 4, and 3, and he might have 8 turnovers. That's what's crazy. And is he done? No, he can still play ball. He's still effective. He's still relevant in the league. But I mean, like I think what he just said was the hype around him is gone. Nobody cares about Chris Paul no more.
Fellas, I mean, his numbers are down. He was averaging 10 points. He got a game, almost 9 assists per game. But, is he done? I think he is not done, but in spurts. They got to keep him healthy in the playoffs. I mean, you got to check this out. The man is 37 years old. Yeah. He played in the league 17 years. How many point guards that are relevant after 30, playing at the age of 37 after playing 17 years? And as a point guard, you do more running around than almost any other position on the court. And I think that's the reason why his injuries are getting so frequently, But to say he's done, I would not say he's done, but don't expect him to be the Paul he was before. But in spurts, I think he can offer leadership. He's a very good foul shooter. In the playoffs, you know how important that is. So I think he's effective in that regard. He's a very good distributor. He can still hit the outside shot once in a great while. Is he done? No, just in spurts.
I'm
Which
gonna
state?
put. I will come back to that different because there's something that y'all said that sparked it, but I'm going to leave it for a later conversation. So another game, two more games, of course, took place last night. One, the New Orleans Pelicans were hosted by the Utah Jazz. Western leading New Orleans Pelicans, but they fail another 20-point loss, 21 points to be exact, as they go down to the Utah Jazz 121 to 100. The Pelicans was led by Zion Williams, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 15 points from Jonas Valanciunas, 6 rebounds and 1 assist, 14 points from CJ McCollum with 6 rebounds, 4 points apiece from Larry Nash Jr. and Jose Alvarado. Marshall contributed with 6 points, 6 points from Herb Jones as well, 9 points from Willie Herman Gomez, as well as Devontae Graham with 2 points. For the Jazz, a collective effort, 19 points apiece from Nickel Alexander Walker and Laurie Markkanen, 18 points from Zared Vanderbilt, 11 points from Jordan Clarkson, 6 points from Kelly Olynyk. But of course, the leading scorer, 16, 11, a double-double from Walker Kessler with 11 points, 16 rebounds. But of course, led by Malik Beasley's 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Gentlemen, what do you guys think of the Utah Jazz and their, I guess you could say, motley crew, how they're put together? No true superstar, just a bunch of average players, maybe above average players.
Bunch of
Put
dogs.
together. You know what, Commissioner, you
Bunch of
took it right out of
dogs.
my mouth, honestly.
Straight
Dog.
up. Straight up. It's a bunch of dogs, man. Look, see, there's some teams they don't really care. And they don't feel like they gotta wait a year or two to make their names known and become a household name. They don't care who you are. They just want to come out and hoop. It's so much like that in sports. Like when you put together the best five, you start making a name for yourself, and you don't care. It's like, all right, so the Lakers are coming to town. We're gonna blow their ass out, and that's just how you have that mentality. And I mean, you look at the Jazz. They lost guys. What's my man's name? The French guy who went to
Gobert.
Gobert.
Yeah, they lost him. I mean, that's your defensive anchor, and you're still, they're like, no sweat. We'll still do it, especially in Utah, which is a small media market. They're just out there playing fun. They're happy to be there, and they're not taking any names. They just want to beat everybody. And I've been watching them. And it looks like who do they have? I'm just saying, what marquee name do they have that you're talking about?
Okay, well, some Utah, their expectations this year were really slim and none. Giving them away, Gobert. But you got to remember, check this out. I kind of look at it from an administrative position as well. Most teams, as you know, they got 2 or 3 max players. And that kind of affects the rest of the team that they can put together. Utah right now, they got rid of Mitchell, made big money. They got rid of Gobert, big money. They got no franchise players right now, and they got 6 picks coming up. Think about that. And they're playing with what they have right now. You got guys who have not played well. Other teams are playing well now. I'll give my man who's a Laker fan, Taylor Horton Tucker. He's playing pretty good right now for them as well. He's getting more playing time. I think he's more relaxed. He got that overhead of playing with LeBron. I think he can just go out there. I think these guys can just go out there and play without worrying about catering to the superstars.
Yeah, without the hype.
Jordan Clarkson. I remember when he played in Missouri. Beast. Now you talk about dog. He is a dog. No doubt about it. You got Sexton. Played at Cleveland. He's making a major contribution. Then you got Conley, veteran. So you got a mix of the young guys, the older veterans, and then you got another guy who was kicked to the curb by the Celtics, Miami Heat. Now he comes in here and he's doing good. Olynyk. You got guys who are playing really well, again, because they have no major focus on their head. They can just go out there and play the game. And then you got the guy who probably was averaging maybe 10 points a game. Now he's going crazy, marketing and whatever. He is going nuts, again, because they're able to just play their game. And I think, again, they got 6 picks and big money coming up, even though they're a small market. So Utah, They're not really fun to watch, but they're very fundamentally sound. They play good defense. And again, these guys are looking up to get that big money. They're looking to get that contract. That's why they're playing all the time hard. That's why they're playing every day. And I think that's going to be very effective for them as the season goes on. And when they get them 6 picks,
picks are what you use to negotiate to get a big name in there with Utah. Picks and so you get they get, if they're playing like this now, they get somebody good in the draft, and then they use the other picks to get a guy who's coming up in free agency. You know, you never know.
Yeah,
never know.
Who's really going to Utah though?
To get a championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get a championship. Shoot, to get a championship, they'll be in the Salt Lake all day, every day, man. Okay.
Oh goodness. Is Zion the MVP?
For what?
I wouldn't say
For
MVP.
what?
I wouldn't say MVP, but he is playing. He is impressive. Like, he is impressive with what he's doing coming off that injury. And I want to see what he does really with Brandon Ingram though. When you know how they mesh when Ingram's healthy and they on the court. You know, when they full strength. He's pretty much carrying them right now. You know, they number 1 in the West, right?
Yeah, I think they are number 1 in the West. Their record is they're 18-9.
The Pelicans?
Yeah.
First place.
West.
He's the MVP right now. Yeah, he's MVP. No, if he was 19, if he was 9 and 18, be a different conversation. But
I think Tatum for me is MVP. That's why I say, you know, Zion, you know, Tatum. I think Tatum got that. I think that's one of his goals right now, with what he's doing with the Celtics. You know, the best team in the league right now. So that's why I say Zion. But Zion, man, I'm impressed. I personally didn't think he was going to be as good as he is right now at the, you know, early on in the season and stuff. You know, I thought he would show some rust, but he looked like he came ready.
It seems like he's taking back that mantle from, like he's trying to grab that mantle back from John Morant of being the best rookie in their class. The best player in their class, and he's looking like, yo, I take that back now. I'm back. So,
gentlemen, I'm gonna stir things up a little bit real quick for you guys. I think I'm gonna create some little debate right here. You know who I think is going to who should get it, but I'm saying who's going to get it. I'm just going to ask you all a question. The last 4 years, who has received MVP?
Foreigners.
Thank you.
Y'all
going where I'm going with this.
I believe.
Giannis
Jokic is going to get the MVP. I'm telling you all.
You think so?
Yes, I'm going to tell you why.
I do.
I'm going to tell you why.
You don't have any disagreement with me on that.
I'm going to tell you why. Hear me out. NBA, what are they doing? They're trying to promote their league.
Global.
It's all about promotion as well, too. Now, you can remember, you know who's going to be coming into the league pretty soon? Mexico. I'm just trying to hit you guys up a little bit of something, you know what I mean? So, the fact that Lucas, he's out of his mind. They're up-and-coming team. Their record's not that good right now. They're 14-13. But his numbers are tremendous. He's getting a lot more TV time. He's going to get a lot more. I'm not saying he should get it. I think he's going to get it.
I believe it too. I think Luka's next, so I have no disagreement.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Luka's legit, man.
Yes.
Doncic he's the truth.
I think it is interesting that you say that before we get into the last game. Is that because would this be the same rhetoric or conversation we'd be having if Luka was in Atlanta?
He's not in Atlanta though.
Yeah. so I was thinking, like, if they would have made that trade, would we still be?
Ooh.
I don't think so. I don't know. Would the team be constructed the same way? Even back then, like, would John Collins still be a teammate selected? Like, or Luka be one of those players that has to move in order to sit up and build his legacy?
I just think if you thought Luka was ever going to Atlanta, I don't even think that was, like, I'm sure they put it on the table, but that's not something Mark Cuban would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I think he was going to be with Dallas from the get go. I don't think he would be a great fit with Atlanta in Atlanta. To be honest with you guys, I think you know what I'm talking about. But I think he's right where he needs to be. I think Dallas is a great fit for him as well, and they're building around him. I don't know how much they would be able to build around him in Atlanta. Atlanta, as you know, for a long time, they have not really, besides Young. Can you guys name me like 4 or 5 great point guards Atlanta has had recently? So that's where they're hurting.
Not recently. You got to go all the way back to Mookie Blaylock.
There you go, my man. There you go. Now I'm talking my age. So what I'm saying,
I came prepared, Trey.
Oh yeah.
Blaylock,
I was thinking Mookie Blaylock, but I was also thinking like they haven't had organically point guards, but they did get who was their point guard the year
because they haven't had one.
They haven't had one, man.
Who was their point guard when they was the top team and when they had 6 players go or 5 players, their starting 5 go to the playoffs, but they got blasted. Who was their point guard then?
Man, the only person I remember from that team, Trey, is Al Horford. I don't remember anybody else. You know,
Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson used to play for them.
Yeah,
But
Joe
Joe
Johnson.
Johnson, Al Horford, Kyle Korver.
Cop shooter.
But who's your point guard?
McConnell, JJ Redick.
The last great point guard out of Atlanta Hawks was Mookie Blaylock.
And what year was that?
That's like 90s. We're talking like almost 30 years.
Yeah, you go. Yeah. So Luka would not be a good fit with Atlanta. So that's why I think that I can't even try to foresee that. I think he's in the perfect situation for him. I get in the perfect situation for Trae Young. I think it worked out great for both of them.
Yeah. Trae Young is.
All right, last game, of course, from last night. Why do they play with my emotions so much? But I take it anyway. The Boston Celtics was in the building versus the NBA leading Boston Celtics was in the building versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, the LA teetered on it. I just knew it. I looked up. It was 3 minutes left, and they was up by 6 points. I was like, okay, hold the lead, hold the line. It didn't happen, of course. OT ensued with Tatum knocking down a nice turnaround, fall away, knock down, send it to overtime, and they was blitzed from there. The Lakers dropped the ball in this one, losing 122 to 118, fall to 11-16 on the year. They coming though. We gonna be there soon. Boston improves to 22-7 on the year. Jason Tatum, 44 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaylen Brown, his counterpart, 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists from Marcus Smart. 10 points, 1 rebound from Derek White. Grant Williams contributed with 9 points, 5 points from Malcolm Brogdon, 2 points from Luke Cornett, and Sam Hauser with 3 points. Blake Griffin also got in 23 minutes, 6 rebounds, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. The duo in LA, that's basically what it was. Actually, it was a triple-headed monster, but they didn't have enough. LeBron James, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Anthony Davis, 37 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. And then it curtails from there. 7 points from Lonnie Walker, the fourth. 6 points from Patrick Beverly. Dennis Schroeder, 2 points. 4 points, Austin Reeves. Thomas Bryant, 4 points. Troy Brown, the junior, 2 points. And 3 points for Kendrick Nunn. All we need was about 2 points from each one of those, and we'd have been victorious. What do we say for the Lakers, gentlemen? Are the Lakers, is it going to be slowly but surely, but we be ready to go high, hold, lock and load come playoffs?
Come on, man. Look, the last couple of games against that game last night and the game before that against the 76ers, they lost at the free throw line. If Anthony Davis hits his free throws, they win those games. Like last night, they could have won that game with the free throws. But the thing is, no. What I saw in overtime last night was Westbrook taking a bunch of shots. Like Boston didn't even guard him in overtime if he was going to shoot the jumper when he was scoring going to the basket. I wonder why he just stands there and take that shot instead of putting the pressure on the defense to guard him so you can make better decisions. Make a better play with the ball.
All right, gentlemen. I was having a good morning, but you just starting to ruin my morning right now. I'm not very happy. I'm from I live in Boston, so where I gotta go through this. So
Okay.
all right. Well, the Lakers. A great point that was made this morning. The Lakers, the big three, got 90 points and 35 rebounds. Think about it, 90 points and 30, and they still can't win a damn game. And to me, if you watch the Lakers, to me, even when their best three are playing at a high level, they still cannot. They make, as you said, they make very bad decisions at the end of the game. Why would you give the ball to Westbrook 3 different times to have him take perimeter jump shots? I don't understand. LeBron, why are you fading away on the 3-point shot? If you go to the cup, they're going to foul you. Now, again, it depends upon the foul shooting. That's another problem.
Yeah,
but to me, I think LeBron's taking way too many damn threes. I think it's affecting his game. He needs to go. I know he's 108 years old, but if he can still maintain and keep going to the cup, draw him foul, especially at the end of the game, because they're going to foul you. And for him to he's bailing out the defense by taking them fall away threes. And it's just very frustrating to watch because they do have the talent. Westbrook is playing a little bit better. He's doing all right. Davis is playing out of his mind, was a little tired last night. But the Lakers, man, again, I don't want to, talk too much, but look at all the players they gave away. If they just kept them and kept that unit, how good would they be? That's one of them teams I was talking about. They gave us so many players, and now they're constantly trying to get new players to try to fit into a mold that they haven't had enough time to gel with. So to answer that, Lakers, man, I don't know. They may make a play-in for the play-in, but they need to get. I don't know.
At this point, they're 2 games out of the play-in, so I mean they're coming. Go ahead, Commissioner Meyer.
I was just gonna say this. I totally disagree. I'm a Laker fan, true and true. I believe purple. This is what I'll say. And Khan said it easy. Their starters got 90 points. Pretty soon, and I'm just telling you right now, once it clicks, because they're starting to gel those 3 guys. Once those guys gel, y'all gonna be talking about, well, that's a super team. It's a super team. We're not talking about them being a super team because they're playing terrible. But once they start getting those pieces in and the bench starts playing well, shots start, that's stuff that they're doing, the missing free throws and just situational basketball where they're not playing well. Those are things you work out in the regular season, right? If I'm anybody, I don't want those with an Anthony Davis playing better. Not playing, Anthony Davis like we've seen him, but he's showing that he's still at that level. So once you say, okay, you know what, them 3 guys, they're playing well. Who's gonna score the 30 points you need off the bench, to carry them over and win these close, winnable games? Now, LeBron, I mean, come on now, we've seen this movie before. At the end of the game, they have guys on their team, their big 3. You don't know if Davis might be the first option, right? I said it. So I will tell you, once those guys start playing really, really great basketball, and those close losses start turning into close wins or blowout wins, the talk is going to be, it's not fair. They got LeBron, they got Westbrook, and they got Anthony Davis. I mean, come on now. We're only talking bad about the Lakers right now because they're losing. They're losing. But they're right where they need to be. They're right where they need to be.
I don't know about that, my friend. The big 3, first of all, they don't play back-to-back games, as you guys notice. So you're going to talk about how many remaining games that they have. How many back-to-backs do they have? They don't play back-to-back games. They I'm a Lakers fan, believe it or not. But I mean, I just don't like the way that they're playing. I don't like the way, especially at the end of games, man. The game management, the game situation, and they talk about football clock management. I just don't like the way they manage games at the end of their games.
That's on
LeBron
the
leaving
coach.
his feet, nowhere to go, stuff like. I mean, basic,
That's on the
fundamental,
coach.
basic.
Yeah, the coach has to get them in better situations. He's got to coach that team in those situations. You can't rely on two future Hall of Famers. I still think the verdict is out on Anthony Davis, but you do have Russell Westbrook and you do have LeBron James. You can't depend on them to make great in-game decisions because of their status. You have to coach. You have to coach that team.
Now, gentlemen, too, check this out. You call a timeout. You got the clipboard, and I guess you're developing or designing some type of play, and you mean to tell me all you can get out of it is a fadeaway three from LeBron from 800 feet out? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and that drives me nuts when I'm coaching and we draw something up, and then you come out there and you do your own damn thing. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
And then you come back to the huddle and you're like, I saw something. What the hell you see? We all watching the same damn basketball game. What did you see that I didn't see that made you deviate from the X's and O's that I just drew up? Come on, man. I saw something. Players come back and I saw that. It was open. It was open. I was open. You and everybody else was open. But the reason why I asked you to run the screen back pick so that we could do this to get the right shot is because that gives us our best opportunity, you know. And
let me ask you
at all levels. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Good morning, all y'all.
What's going on, man?
Good morning. I'm having technical. Good morning, sir. Yeah, I have technical difficulties. Power went out and all that good stuff. So I don't know what's going on. But either way, my question is this, right? Something came up yesterday. I don't know if y'all spoke about it yet or not. But of course, y'all know they renamed the MVP award for one thing.
Yes.
To the Michael Jordan Award, Michael Jordan MVP Award.
Well, they renamed a bunch of them. Go ahead.
Right.
Yes. Go ahead.
I think 6 of them.
Yeah, right, 6 of them. Right, exactly. But my question to you is that to y'all is right. Do you sometimes think, and this is not necessarily directed toward LeBron, but because we're talking a lot about LeBron, let's direct it to LeBron. Do you think sometimes, like Mr. Michael said about him taking that 800-foot shot after coming out of a timeout? Do you think
wasn't an 800-foot shot? Now, what you're not going to do?
I'm just saying what the young man said on here. He said it was an 800-foot shot. I'm just saying that's what it was. So, do you think sometimes that the fact that he is so-called King James, that sometimes he feels the need to have to take that shot because he feels that he has to fulfill a goal in which he thinks he should be considered the GOAT in whatever. Like Commissioner Myers, I heard you say, we drew all this up. And of course, when he comes back to the huddle, they talking about, I saw something. Do you think sometimes in their mental thought process that they maybe think, even if they didn't see something, I'm going to take this shot? Like a lot of people know before they take the shot that they're going to take that shot, no matter what the circumstances is. Even if it isn't wide open, they still gonna take that shot because, of course, we know everyone compares Michael, or should I say, compares LeBron James to Michael Jordan. So, do you think that sometimes that plays a role in taking bad decisions?
Can I answer that? No, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. If he would normally do that, I would go along with you. But if what you're saying, the point you might be trying to make, LeBron, if what you're saying, if people really felt that was true, that he feels he needs to do it to become the GOAT, then why would you defer to Mr. Westbrook for 3 shots at the end of the game? Now, wouldn't it be more? I mean, they say he has he's one of the smartest players to ever play the game. Wouldn't you go by percentage-wise? I'm not no analytics guy, but let me see. If I fade away from 800 feet, or if I penetrate, what's the chances are, at least if I penetrate, I can draw people, I can dish, I can go for a layup, I can get fouled, I can do so many. But now you take that 3-point fadeaway, what's going to happen? You miss, guess what? First of all, when you take a 3-point shot, more than likely the ball's going to go out further towards a foul line extension. Now you're going to create a transition game for the opposing team. But at least here, you're slowing the game down. You can penetrate and can make more options for your teammates as opposed to trying to bail the defense out and taking that 3-pointer. So my answer is no.
Okay. I like it. EC, Commissioner Myers.
Yeah, I don't think LeBron necessarily worried about that kind of stuff. I think if you watch the game last,
don't do that.
I think if you watch the game last night,
don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying in the
back of his head.
But I'm just saying in that moment last night, I think he just wanted to be the hero with that shot. Like, Jason Tatum was killing him, man.
Yep.
Like, I think it was more showing up the guy that's on the court with him at that moment. Tatum and Brown, that combination. I think that's what it was about more so than anything. Like, I'm gonna hit this game-winning shot, and he just missed it.
Down and shut it all down. Get this game-winning shot. Y'all talk that my DJ knows if you want to.
And gentlemen, before I just want to say one more thing.
Go ahead, sir.
Do you all know LeBron James' 3-point field goal percentage is in the 20% range?
Right.
So if I know I'm only shooting 20-something%, what's the chances that I'm going to hit this as opposed to me again having to penetrate, at least going to the foul line? My man's shooting one of the worst in the NBA 3-point shot. You can look it up.
But that's always been my problem. That's always been my problem with LeBron. And that's why I say that he doesn't have as many championships as he should have and stuff. The basketball of me, the clutch, that whole clutch element coming down the stretch when he should do certain things. His best strength is going to the basket. They're not gonna stop that.
Right.
They're not gonna stop that.
He's too big.
They're not gonna stop it.
Right.
But he never. A lot of times he doesn't do it, Bishop, when he should.
I agree.
He don't do it when he should. It's like play to your strength. But he's so smart though, right? Like he got the best basketball IQ, but the best player is LeBron going to the basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing too, he can use either hand. He can, so you can't really force him right or force because he can use either hand.
Right.
Fact.
Maybe.
He's such a big guy, and he's such a big guy. He's gonna draw contact. 9 times out of 10, when he go to the line, he's gonna draw contact.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Right. And I think that's why the whole conversation, stuff like that. See, those are decisions. Like we all know about the infamous great play Michael Jordan did the Lakers with the start one way to flip the other way.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And that was just instinct. Didn't nobody come to defend Michael Jordan on that play? Thought somebody was going to, and he flipped it to the other end and made the layup, made one of the most spectacular moves in NBA history.
Don't.
LeBron is not that type of dude. Like he said, like that's what Mike does. Mike takes the ball to the hole because I know where we're going with this conversation. Mike takes the ball to the hole and he expects contact too, but he makes moves. That's what makes him. LeBron isn't there yet, and I don't think LeBron will ever be there. He's at the end of his rope, in regards to his career. His career is pretty much done. So it is what it is. That's why you can never compare LeBron to Michael Jordan. Again, LeBron James 6'9", Michael Jordan 6'6", 6'7". Two different specimens of basketball players. Not taking anything away from LeBron James, a great, great basketball player, without question. He has definitely changed the game of basketball. However, he's just not that dude when it comes to Michael Jordan. He's not that guy.
So it's funny you said that, like we just been talking about. The NBA has gone through a whole rebrand, especially of the awards, doing what they think is best to provide, to pay homage to the forefathers, as they say, the pioneers of the league. Of course, we know they've renamed they came forth and started to give a division award and renamed the division awards for each division. They've gone forth and renamed the conference awards. They've gone forth and renamed the MVP award for the MVP award for the All-Star game, the conference championship games. Now they've renamed the NBA championship. Now, of course, they've come and they've renamed the the MVP award, which is now the Michael Jordan Award. Additionally, we also have the Hakeem Olajuwon Award given to the Defensive Player of the Year. We have the Will Chamberlain Award given to the Rookie of the Year, the John Havlicek Award given to the Sixth Man of the Year, and the George Michael Award given to the Most Improved Player of the Year. The only one they didn't rename is the head coach award, but they did rebrand it and re-image it. Do you think all these are deserving, or could they have been more
You
deserving
forgot one, didn't
individual
you?
in these positions?
You forgot one, didn't you? You forgot one, the Clutch Player
Oh,
of the Year.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award for the social media, social justice champion.
And you also forgot the Clutch Player of the Year, Jerry West. Did you say that one?
Oh no, that one as well. The Clutch Player,
Yeah.
which that's a new one. The Clutch Player Player of the Year, of the Jerry West Award.
Mm-hmm. What was your question, Trey? I'm sorry, you missed it.
Commissioner Byers shaking his head. All these, that's an unnecessary award, Commissioner.
I think so. I agree. That is an unnecessary award. There's no a Clutch Player of the Year award. Come on. Like seriously, come on, Commissioner. I know you want to say it. Go ahead.
I just think that you see all these unnecessary, useless stats that people have for like LeBron James and all these stats out there. The first player to ever play the game before the game was played. I mean, it's like you got crazy stat awards out here. Now we're doing it with awards, right? Now the awards are, the Clutch Player of the Year, right? And you could argue about Jerry West being the Clutch Player of the Year, like the award being named after him. I'm not saying that Jerry West wasn't a great ball player, but I mean, he's got
that award.
Does he deserve to have it be named after him? I think the NBA is fine where it's at. We're trying to redo the logo. We're redoing image and stuff. I mean, we don't have to do all that. The game is great. Now, if they wanted to put Michael Jordan as the logo for the NBA, that is that's doable. That's understandable, right? Because but Jerry West is the logo. Now he gets to be a Clutch Player of the Year, a logo too, or award too. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's like we're looking for other things to market the game. That is, the marketing for the game is fine. I think what people should be focused on is, instead of looking at these awards, where's the Iron Man award for the guy who played 82 games? Because that's something that's on the table that players, for whatever reason, don't want to do. What about the fans? The fans, Comment just said, hey, they don't play back-to-backs. Well, I pay tickets. I pay to go see these guys play, even if it's a back-to-back, and you don't want to play. Come on, man.
True that.
Do we see a situation to where now the next slate of awards are going to be the statistic awards, the assist leader of the year, the points of the year, those things that people talk about, these champions, these scoring champions, and so much? Are they going to start getting awards as well, you think, that are going to be renamed?
Jim, can I respond to this real quick?
Go ahead, comment.
I claim to be a basketball historian, and I've had the pleasure of having the great Sam Jones on my show, who passed away recently at the age of 88, along with Bill Russell. But anyway, so getting back to the fact of what they experienced, the old timers have experienced, that would bring tears to your eyes, guys. You gotta let me come on the show and talk about that. But anyway, I think they went a little too far. But I think what they're doing, with the 50th anniversary and the 75th anniversary, I think they just want to make sure that all the things that these players have done, so these ball players can make $40 million a year, et cetera, and have given way for these players to have the life that they're living right now. I think they just want to pay homage to those guys who had to go and work two jobs, couldn't eat at the same restaurant as their teammates. I don't want to go into detail, but I just want to let you know, I like the fact that they're, like you talked about Jerry West. I saw Jerry West. I saw all them guys you named except George Mikan. He was 800 years old. But everybody else I have seen play, and it's good to keep their memory alive. So I like that, but I think they have gone a little too extreme. But I think they're doing it more so. It's just, as a remembrance of those players, and so their careers have not gone forgotten. And right now we're in the age of, we got the LeBron and we got all these other individuals. I think that's just something to Again, just recognize those players who have paved the way for all these players to do what they do right now. But do I think it's a little bit overboard? Yes, maybe one or two, maybe three. But all these crazy ones, nah. I think that takes away from it. To be honest with you.
Okay. So Commissioner Myers just said something about he thinking being the stretch, right? Gentlemen, I have y'all all on here, and a conversation ensued on Friday, in which I believe is a little bit of a stretch.
Here we
when
go.
we had,
oh, here we go.
When we had,
here we go.
A slight conversation to where three individuals, top tier individuals, you know what I'm saying? And I've toiled over there in my mind, and I just can't get behind the moniker of if our beloved Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird all were a big three in their day, could have won 5 consecutive championships from the year of 1988 to 1992, and then concede the next two to, of course, a correction from 88 to 93, and then concede the next two to Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets, who is said to be a superior player over your Airness. Gentlemen,
94, 95 he was.
94, 95, correct. The now Defensive Player of the Year award, Hakeem Olajuwon, being a better player than your Airness in that time frame. How do we come to this thought?
Who said what? Hold on, go back. What?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the question. You said that, Commish?
Well, Jordan wasn't in the league at that time when he won those.
Jordan was in the league in 80. He started his rookie year was what, 84, 85?
84, 85.
So
they both came in 84.
So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So what I said was, if Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird decided in the summer of 87, after the Lakers won the title, right? If they decided to come together and play as a big three, that nobody would win a championship from 1988 to 1993. And those are facts. Those are facts.
Well, I agree. I agree with that.
No,
I agree with that.
I misinterpreted the question.
Those are facts.
Misinterpreted the question.
Hold on, he said he misinterpreted the question. So he basically
I
saying
was under the impression if you put them three on the same team, would they win multiple championships?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes, that's the question.
5.
Yeah.
He said
but,
5.
But you saying after the 88 year, right?
88.
Right. I was talking about so after they had already
88.
So he said,
so 88. Right. So 88. Remember, the Lakers went back to back in 88. So in 88, from 88,
right,
okay, to 93. Okay, remember now, let's first of all, let's just put this in context.
Okay.
Michael Jordan was like the best thing coming into the NBA in 84. I mean, he was dominating the league, right? But he just wasn't winning championships, and he just, was okay, right? Magic Johnson was at the peak of his game in 87, right? In 87, he played against Larry Bird in the NBA Finals, right? Larry Bird was dominating the Eastern Conference. Period. There was nobody. The 84 Celtics are arguably the best team in NBA history. A lot of people think that the 84 Celtics were one of the best teams in NBA history. So if you take the marquee players from these top teams and then you combine them with Michael Jordan, who was coming into his own, 88 was a great year for him. Okay, 89, he's playing against the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. The only team that could challenge that team would have been the Detroit Pistons, and they wouldn't have had enough. There's nobody guarding Michael Jordan on they couldn't guard Magic Johnson in 88 when they it's just not happening. So
well, hold on, Commissioner. Hold on now. The Lakers won the finals 4-3 against the Pistons. And then that following year in 89, the following year now in 89, the Pistons swept the Lakers 4-0.
Why?
Magic got hurt.
Magic
pulled his hamstring. Hey, Byron Scott broke his ankle. I'm a Laker fan, baby. I know.
Right.
Let me tell you about them 89 Lakers.
Right.
They swept the West. They were undefeated going into the NBA Finals.
Right.
Magic hurt his hamstring in the first game of the NBA Finals, and Byron Scott had broke his ankle, I think, because they had so much rest in the playoffs. Them Lakers would have swept the Pistons if they had a healthy team. They would have gotten swept. That's how good they were playing.
So we're talking about, so you saying from 88 to 93. So that we're talking about, so Detroit won 80 and 89 and 90. The Bulls won 91 to 93.
Yep.
And the opponents at that time were from 93 to 89 was the Phoenix Suns, who got beat, Portland, the Lakers, Portland, the Lakers.
So Magic, Bird, and Jordan together.
Magic, Bird, and Jordan. And you saying those were the three?
Yeah.
Those were the three.
Or winning 5 straight.
I agree.
No,
it's 5 rings. Hey, it's not even debatable.
I can't. Do you have? Listen, I get where y'all coming from, but you talk. There's no big man in that. There's no big dominance in that. You got 3 shooters. Well, 2 shooters and 1 penetrator or 1 facilitator on the floor. And between Magic and this is the thing, Magic and Michael, I get it. They played in the NBA. I mean, they played in the Olympics together. An outstanding team. All 3 of them played in the Olympics together. Outstanding team. However,
I don't understand it.
Listen, but this is the thing, Commish. Who you still need a center you still need a paint presence.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
So you sticking anybody in the
Magic Johnson played
Magic
center.
Johnson.
I got that. I remember
Magic going down low.
I remember that. But you're not gonna
Magic going down low.
Listen,
I knew that's where he was going with that. Magic.
Magic plays center.
I knew he was too. Listen, I know that too. Keep in mind, Shaq comes in 92. Shaq comes in 92. Magic ain't doing nothing with Shaq. Olajuwon came in the same year as Jordan did. Look, Magic ain't doing nothing with Olajuwon at center. He's not. When Shaq comes in, Magic ain't doing nothing in the center position. When Olajuwon comes in, Magic ain't doing nothing in the center position.
Ask Olajuwon that.
Come on,
ask Olajuwon that because Olajuwon got dominated in the 80s by the Lakers. Dominated.
Not by Magic though. This the key word, the Lakers, not Magic. That's
I was gonna say I wouldn't go that far because Hakeem went to the finals 86. Like I don't know how much domination. You know what I'm saying? He went to the finals 86.
Why
he beat the Lakers?
Did they go to the finals in 86?
He beat the Lakers.
He didn't beat the Lakers. Ralph Sampson beat the Lakers on some lucky foolish.
You talk about the luck shot, but Hakeem was the driving force on those teams.
You mean to tell me, Commish, that
it was a luck shot by Ralph Sampson. But
we all know Magic played center position because whatchamacallit got hurt. And he had to play the center position. You mean to tell me you really feel as though Magic could sit there and win 5 championships at a center position?
I'm about to say something that's going to end this whole conversation.
No, but I think they would win 5 because think about the Bulls run.
Who is going to stop Michael Jordan? I don't give a damn what center you have.
That's not the case.
That's not the problem.
But what? But Bishop,
ain't nobody stopping Michael. Nobody stopping Michael. I got you, CC. Nobody stopping Michael. But at the same token, who is going to stop them defensively in the paint? Who is Magic going to defend in the paint when Olajuwon, Shaq, any of those big guys back then were in the paint?
Hey,
who is he going to stop at a center?
The Bulls was winning championship with Bill Cartwright, bro. Like they won a championship with Bill Cartwright, bro.
Luke Longley,
Stacey King, Stacey King coming off the bench.
Bill Perdue, Cliff Livingston. Hold on. They got rings.
I got all that. But check it.
They got rings.
The key thing. Hold on. The thing. I got you. But keep this in mind. Out of those 3 players, how many of those out of the 3 players, Magic, Bird, and Michael Jordan? For what CC just said, how many of them are defensive players of the year?
Michael Jordan.
I think
that's
Michael
what I thought.
Jordan.
Bird was what 3-time? Bird was 3-time defensive player, not defensive player of the year, but Bird was on the all defensive team 3 times.
All defensive
player. I'm talking about defensive player of the year. Defensive team is something different. Defensive player of the year. Only one person on that squad.
You kind of strengthen our point because
Yeah,
those
he
three
did.
you're gonna say they have defense now. Now you're saying they have defense. You can't say they don't have rebounding.
You have
because
one.
Bird and Magic could rebound.
Yeah, 2010 guys.
Both
Yeah.
Bird and Magic could rebound. Hands down. Bird with his slow moving self. You will be surprised when you look up his stats on how he was able.
Like Bird couldn't even really jump, but he could rebound though.
He couldn't even jump, but he could rebound, play position basketball. 5, gentlemen, 5 rings. They get 5.
Comment. Is it 5?
Yeah.
You know, gentlemen, going back, I'm just thinking back when you said 88 and moved on. I'm looking at it this way. I think for the first 2 or 3 years, absolutely. After that, I see Bird getting a little older, Magic getting a little older. I think that would be a detriment for years 4 and 5. But the 3, like you can say, you can put them 3 with Larry Moore and Curly, they're gonna win 3 in a row. I think, but then when you go and try to towards the end of it, I think there would be a problem, honest to God, because you know it's hard to win back to back. But when you're talking about 5 back to back, it's going to be the only team that ever did anything like that was the Celtics, and there was only 8 teams back in the day. But so to answer your question, I think the first 3, without doubt, I think the last 2 would be real difficult because you get a lot more people came in the league at that time, and it would be a little bit more difficult. But the first 3, hands down. The reason I would just tell you the last two. Remember, Michael Jordan didn't start winning until 91, 92, and 93. He came into his He got beat 9 times by the Pistons. I know.
And that's the reason why I say they would win 5 in a row, because Michael Jordan, when he exploded on the scene from 90 on, he was the most dominant player for an entire decade. So I say, and then Magic had got HIV in 91, but Magic was still playing out of his damn mind. Right. He was still playing out of his mind. So
Bird wasn't HIV. He's the longest living HIV player ever.
Injury.
Bird's back was starting to hurt the last 4 or 5 years of his career.
Yeah, Bird's back.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan scoring 60. I mean, I just don't see anyone stopping Michael Jordan
like I said,
in 91.
I mean, and I get where you're coming from, Commish. Don't get me wrong, because that would be, I mean, phenomenal. I mean, we saw what they done in the Olympics with them 3 on the same team. You know what I'm saying? Even though they had better, players alongside them at the forward and in the center position. So I totally get it. But see, I get what he's saying too. Bird and Magic at the last 2 years. By that time, like I said, Olajuwon is in there because him and Jordan came in at the same time, and then of course Shaq is in there. So those things play a huge factor, I think, especially the young Shaq when he wasn't the big, the young Shaq, the very, the quicker Shaq, the Orlando Magic Shaq. He wasn't fundamentally sound as like he got later on in his career, but he was physical. And Magic could not. There was no center in the league that could mess with Shaq at that time when he first came into the league.
But here's what I want to tell you guys. Mm-hmm. So between those three gentlemen, you got 6, 5, and 3. You got 12 rings, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan almost did what we're talking about without those 2.
Facts.
He won 6 out of 8 championships with all by himself. Like he's got 6 finals MVPs.
Don't do that, Commish. Don't do that, Commish.
No.
He did not do that by himself. Come on, give Pippen his props. Give Pippen his props.
I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is you're missing the point. The point is that Michael Jordan almost accomplished that feat of winning 5 out of 5 straight rings.
Oh, okay.
All by himself, regardless. If he didn't retire, we don't know what would have happened if the Bulls played the Rockets in those two NBA Finals games, and they were headed towards each other. So what I'm saying is that that is a feat that he almost accomplished
alone,
with all by himself with his one team. Now you put Hall of Famer Magic Johnson on his team when Magic is playing in his prime, and you put Bird on the team where he's got the 3 best years of his life, of his basketball career left, and then he's still on. First of all, Bird was still even in 92 and 93 when he had the injuries. he was still an effective basketball player. So all I'm saying is that you put Michael Jordan in that mix for the last 2 years and they win 5. It's easy. It's not even debatable. I'm sorry,
So
it's not.
I'm gonna be
I don't think it's debatable.
I don't. So let me say this, because I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, and that that was my era. I would definitely say it's very possible, very, 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 very possible, without question. Like you said, Kamish, he practically done it without doing it, because if he hadn't retired in 94,
Without it.
95, right, 94, 95, they probably could have won 7 in a row, easy, 8, because they did 3. He retired for 2, and then he came back and did 3 more, so that's 8 they could have done in a row, possibly. So I get it.
And here's another comeback, fellas. When Jordan did his thing, like you're saying, well, of course he had Pippen, but he didn't have too many to defer to. Now you got Bird and Magic. He got someone else to defer to. So he might not be as effective as he was when he was doing it all himself. That's why he won all them scoring titles. If you put Bird and Magic, he's not getting all them scoring titles.
But we talking about this too.
No, but he's getting rings.
But no one has put into it, and I'm surprised CC ain't said this, or Trey. No one's put into the conversation the fact that we're talking about 3 ball dominant individuals. Could that even possibly? Why you look like that, Commission? You don't tell me that they're not 3 ball dominant.
Magic Johnson is not ball dominant. He's distributing the basketball.
Okay, 2 ball dominance. Okay, 2. Let's say 2. I'll take that match. I'll take Magic is a facilitator.
But if you ever seen the Lakers, I mean the Celtics when they played, man, the team ball that they played, Bird could come off the screen and shoot the jumper, man. Bird could do whatever. Like that corner 3, he could live in that corner 3.
Yeah, that's his
favorite.
What
I'm saying?
That's his favorite.
Like because
that's his favorite.
Like Bird will tell you straight up, he go set a pick, Parrish go set a pick, and I'm gonna be over here in the corner and I'm gonna hit it in your face. Yep. So he doesn't have to have the ball. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. Like Michael Jordan would be the dominant as far as the basketball, but the other 2 can share.
Okay, so you think they would? So you're thinking? So basically, what y'all saying is they would definitely complement each other because of their style of play.
And Mike take it over in the 4th quarter anyway. So
right, that part.
All of them command a double team. All of them command a double team. Can you imagine a coach going into a game where you have to make a game plan against Magic, Bird, and Jordan? Who are you going to let play straight? Who are you going to let? Who are you going to play? Are you going to play Are you going to play Michael Jordan straight up?
There's no such game plan. There's no such game plan.
Are you going to play? You can't. Michael Jordan couldn't even guard Magic Johnson.
Facts.
He couldn't guard Magic.
Facts.
So all I'm saying is if Michael Jordan, who's a defensive player of the year, couldn't guard Magic Johnson in the finals, right? Magic getting 20 assists, right? That's a problem. Magic got 20 assists in the NBA Finals in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
In 91. That's so he was still playing great basketball. It's not about that. All I'm saying is if you put them 3 on a team and you give them a center and a power forward, they're gonna win 5 rings.
Any center.
I don't care if it's Cliff Livingston. I don't care if it's who else they had. Judd Bushman. They can have whoever.
Judd Bushman. I remember Judd Bushman. Yeah. Judd Bushman.
That's what they would play.
Whoever. That's.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Are we would be in agreement that Olajuwon was the dominant in 93 and 94?
94, 95?
94, 95. I'm sorry.
94, 95. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That's
fair to say.
He was the best player as far because I say he was the best player. Being from H-Town, he was the best player in the league because Michael Jordan retired
that year. Those 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, if Jordan had played those years, you never know. But I feel like Hakeem was at least going to get 1, man. At minimum, he was going to get 1. Him getting 2, that was great, but I knew he was going to at least get 1.
So auditionally, what I'm hearing is back pain slowed Larry Bird's greatness, and of course, age slowed Magic Johnson's greatness. What would have been that ceiling, or what would that have looked like, even with Jordan ascending, had none of that happened? All 3 healthy on their respective teams.
Well, I think instead of you seeing, I'm gonna go first on this, but I think instead of you seeing the Charles Barkley led Phoenix Suns in the finals, you probably would have seen the Lakers again. You know, it probably would have been MJ versus Magic Johnson. You know, MJ versus Irvin Johnson again, part two. You know, I don't. Yeah, I think you don't see Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. I think that's the only thing that changed. As far as
I would
Bird,
tell you,
it was over.
I don't think you see Charles Barkley in the Phoenix Suns, and I also don't think Bird comes out of the East.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because he was getting there. They had gotten him Reggie Lewis, who was a really good ball player, but when he passed away, I mean, Celtics were playing great basketball.
Yeah.
But Reggie Lewis, when Reggie Lewis passed away, he was supposed to take the torch over from Larry Bird. But so Bird never really got after 92, after 91. Really, the Celtics weren't as illustrious in the back injury. But you got to look at it. I mean, the Lakers picked up Eldon Campbell. They had Vlade Divac, who was playing really out of his mind. You know, they had all these great pieces. Sam Perkins. They had all these great pieces that they had started retooling and getting better. And then Magic comes up with AIDS, so it were HIV, and so I don't think Charles Barkley. I think that Suns team, they were great. They were going to the finals regardless. They were going to the finals. But if you ask me, I don't care if Michael Jordan was playing golf or playing basketball. From 93 to 94 to 95, Hakeem Olajuwon was the best player in the league. It doesn't matter what Michael Jordan was doing.
Tell me one thing, if I could say one thing. With the unluck of the ping pong ball, do you know the Celtics could have drafted Tim Duncan? Number one. Number two, we talk about Reggie Lewis.
Right.
Celtics drafted probably the higher apparent to all of them, Len Bias.
Len Bias, when
they could have all them Bias on that team.
I was about to say about him. Yep, I was about to say Len Bias too.
You know what I'm saying? So, Len Bias, Reggie, Bird.
Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's right. Yeah, I was just about to say about Len Bias. We never got to see what Len Bias. Everybody was looking forward to seeing Len Bias, and then he unfortunately
he was better. They say he was better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Len Bias.
Athletic.
Yeah, Len Bias was yeah. They said that dude, he was that dude. Yep, I totally agree.
So it's funny that you happen to say something about Tim Duncan. So yesterday, Bishop put up a meme that had 10 players. Right, 10 players. It
or do you got it?
I could remember because I could see it on the little thing. I could make out their faces. He had 10 players, in which I'm very sure he's going to put it up. So I say the players, 10 players: Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Dirk, Shaquille O'Neal. Who was that in the back? All right, here he comes. All right, Hakeem Olajuwon and Kevin Durant.
There it is, Joe. For y'all.
Keep 5 and cut 5.
To build the ultimate starting lineup.
To build your ultimate starting lineup. Who are you getting rid of? Why are you getting
out of these 10?
Cut 5. Keep 5 stuff. Cut 5 out of this 10.
Out of these 10.
Who doesn't make it onto your squad?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I already got my squad.
I've already done it already.
What? Y'all made that. Y'all must have did y'all homework. Y'all did some homework.
Mine is already done. No, I've had this. I've seen this list before. I already did mine.
Okay, what was yours, Commissioner Myers?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, I had Magic, Jordan, Kobe, Olajuwon. I'm trying to think if I can see the picture.
Yeah, Olajuwon.
Olajuwon and Shaq.
And Shaq. So why not LeBron, KD, or Tim?
Because I want to win a championship.
Just simple. You just made it clear cut. Win a championship.
That's it. Because Tim Duncan, the only person Tim Duncan would be my sixth man because he got 5 rings.
Right.
The only reason why I put Olajuwon over Tim Duncan is because naturally, Olajuwon, when he first came in the league, I think he played the power forward position.
Right.
And so Tim Duncan ain't. He might be the big fundamental, but he's not going to be able to stay on the ground with Olajuwon. Like he couldn't handle Olajuwon. And Shaq is the most dominant big man ever. Period.
So why not Tim Duncan over Shaq?
Because I want to win a championship.
But you just said Tim Duncan had 5.
I said he'd be my sixth man, but he wouldn't be the fifth. He wouldn't be the starting center.
So he's not trading. Basically, he's not trading Tim Duncan for the most agile big man and the most dominant big man.
Right, doesn't Tim Duncan and Olajuwon have more rings than Olajuwon and Shaq?
No,
not combined.
Oh, well, yeah.
Combined. Yeah,
but
combined.
They do. They do. But
right.
But if I've got to go into a 7-game series and I have to play against the other team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tim Duncan's not hanging with Shaq.
Okay.
And he's not hanging, and there's nobody on that squad that can hang with a lot. Remember, you got Dirk Nowitzki out there, right? He got to guard somebody.
Right.
He has to guard somebody. He's not guarding Olajuwon.
Right.
Okay. And he damn sure ain't guarding Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
You're right. Okay. I feel you. I like it. CC?
Yeah, you said you got yours already, CC. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Magic and Mike in the backcourt. I would put Kobe at the wing, and I would take Duncan and Olajuwon. Duncan and Olajuwon.
He goes with Duncan. Okay.
Yep, Duncan would be my power forward, like his original position. He would be my power forward.
Yeah, because he came in as a power forward at first initially,
right?
Because the Admiral was there, right? He came in as a power forward, right.
So that's why I would put.
Damn, this is tough, man.
It is, but it's funny because has no one yet
picked the young
LeBron,
the new generation. None of the new generation.
Yeah, it's all.
That's what makes it tough. I think if you're gonna look at it realistically, I think if you're gonna look about what 5 would you put on the court. So obviously you're gonna want someone who can, as a good point guard, distributor. You want someone at the 2 who's more of a perimeter shooter. You want someone at the 3 who's more fluid, and then you want a power forward. And so if you're going to go with the prototypical team, I'd have to go Magic. Jordan. Is it Jordan, right? Jordan?
Yeah.
Magic, Jordan. I'd put Kobe at the 3. I'd have 4 spots. I put KD at the 4.
I like that.
And I'm gonna roll with either Akeem or Shaq. Akeem's more athletic. I think I'm gonna go Olajuwon because you got a rim protector, a good perimeter shooter.
Right.
Shaq's all inside. I think he would slow the team down. I think Olajuwon, the way he can run the floor, you got perimeter, you got point guards. I mean, I'd have Steph come off the bench. Mess with that.
I like that. Here's mine, Trey. I'm going with Magic, Michael, Kobe, like Mr. C's with KD at the 4, and then I'm putting. I think I'm making Olajuwon my 5th because we all know.
Oh, you're running with me? All right.
Yeah. Because we all know Magic. I mean, we all know. Everybody know about Hack-a-Shack. Yeah. Everybody knows about Hack-a-Shack. So I gotta go with somebody who's not gonna disturb the Hack-a-Shack part of it. That's why I'm going with Olajuwon. But yeah, I love the fact that what Mr. C did with KD, because at that 4 position, KD, I love that because he's an all around player. Shoot, penetrate, handles, all at the size in which he's at. Man, I see you, commish. I see you, commish.
The reason I tell you guys, we always as people, we get into this mindset of like what guys can do. They can score, they can rebound, they can do assists. They gotta guard somebody, man.
KD can guard.
Who's KD guarding in the play? Is KD guarding Olajuwon? Is KD guarding Shaq?
No, but Olajuwon is on my squad though. Olajuwon is on my squad, so he don't have to guard Olajuwon.
But so
Olajuwon
that's what I'm saying is that
okay.
So who's a matchup? Who is KD guarding?
It depends on who the squad is, though. You talking about out of those teams?
If you move the 5 that you don't select and they become the team they play against, then you have it. There you have it. So in any case, LeBron wasn't selected on no one's team.
I think KD can I think he can do a little something with Dirk.
Yes, or
with
LeBron.
Dirk,
or LeBron.
He's not guarding Shaq, and he's not guarding.
Yeah, I think he can do a little something with Dirk.
But I think
he's not guarding Kobe, and he's not guarding Jordan either.
But Kobe was on my squad. So if I took Magic, Kobe, Mike, Kevin, KD, and Olajuwon, only person he would probably have to guard is either Dirk or LeBron. That's it. That's it. Out of these 10, that's the only 2 people he would probably end up having to guard is Dirk or LeBron. That's it. But then
one thing I'd like to add to that, when we talk about defense, check this out. You're saying who they match up against. Now, the way the NBA is played now, you can go to zone. You might have Matt Johnson as your point on a 1-2-2 where he's playing the perimeter. Then you get the wings. They don't have to be as effective man-to-man per se. And if you notice, the best way to rebound is when you're playing the zone as opposed to man-to-man.
Right.
I'm just saying that they can counteract some of the defensive issues by playing zone. If that's what they chose to do. Now, if you're going to strictly go man-to-man, then you got you have a lot of defensive deficiencies, but you can go zone. There's a lot of things you could do as a coach. You can manipulate. You can do a lot of things, man. Just saying.
Yeah.
You're not doing hack and Shaq every possession. It's not happening.
No, you're not. I'm not saying that. But when we're talking about a 7-game
game,
but let's talk about a 7-game series.
Maybe.
Well, I think
7-game series.
I think the squad. Yeah. I think the squad I picked Olajuwon over Shaq because I seen everybody saw how Olajuwon dogged Shaq early on in Shaq's career, man. That footwork of Olajuwon, and Olajuwon is the NBA's leading shot blocker all time.
Yes,
that's why I picked him.
I'm riding with Olajuwon.
That's why
he on the Defensive Player of the Year trophy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because his defense was impeccable.
Right.
Yep.
That's why I'm going with Olajuwon as well. Me too.
So next one. What is y'all selection when it comes to this? Who y'all rocking with? Is it hands down Team 23?
Yeah, for me it is. Ooh, but that Team 23 is kind of weak in certain areas. I ain't gonna lie.
Right, but that team. I know, right? That Team 34. Oh man,
there's too many people missing on this team.
Come on, Commish. You can't be plugging in your own people. You gotta go.
There's too many people missing.
See,
you gotta make his own team. You can't do that all the time. You gotta
go.
There's too many people missing.
I'm not coming on the show no more, man.
I think on the squad, Team 34 got this. Like when you look at it, we look at it some holes, but all teams have holes.
Because there's nobody. So I'm gonna say this, Trey. Nobody on the Team 23 can guard Olajuwon. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody on Team 23 can guard Olajuwon. Nobody.
Then they're gonna have problems with Giannis too, but
no one. That's the
but
problem.
There's no shooting. Ray Allen is the only shooter on that.
They have nobody to bring the ball up.
You got clutch. You got a clutch in Paul, early Paul. I don't know what Paul we talk about, but it's a clutch in Paul, pure shooter in Ray. Yeah, come on now. You think
Paul clutch? Ray is more of a clutch than Paul.
Ray is a pure shooter. Paul is the truth. Come on, man. Why you think he called the truth? He ain't walking to the NBA with that name. They gave him that name in the NBA.
Look at Commish.
But what Draymond? Is it only because he wear number 23, Draymond, in this thing?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
That's why I said Mitch Richmond wear number 23.
Oh, is that what it is? The number 34?
Yeah, it's all So this is the section of 23, the top player, and of course at the 4 too.
Right. I got you. That makes sense.
So then, you know what I'm saying? But I think Team 34 is holes. But I mean, you got Giannis can bring the ball up.
He does it now. He really does.
But
Paul brings the ball up.
Ah, man.
I mean,
that's a tough one.
If you look at the Lakers now, hell, Anthony Davis brings the ball up.
But this is the thing with the 23 team. There's nobody holding down from the 23 team holding down Shaq or stopping Shaq or Olajuwon.
Well, y'all saw the Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan slapping at least three of those dudes already off the rip. You know.
Yeah.
Get in the game. He slapping Butler like for real.
And for one, Jordan and Draymond would not get along together. That would not happen. That would not.
That's why he's slapping Draymond too. I was gonna say that.
Draymond had about 4 technicals by halftime.
Yeah. That's a hard one, Trey. I don't know where you got that one from, but that's a hard
one. That's a good one, but a hard one.
It's a good one, but it's a hard one.
All right, this one's a little easier. I don't want Comment to not come on the show ever again because he's like, y'all be on some other stuff. This one's a little easier. Start, bench, cut.
Ooh. I'm starting Embiid. I'm benching the Joker, and I'm cutting AD, man. That would be me right there.
I'm starting.
That's tough.
I'm starting Joker, benching Embiid and cutting, but I'm cutting. I'm with him. I flip mine. I'm flipping the starter, but I'm cutting Davis.
It's easy. Starting Embiid. Anthony Davis got to go because he's always hurt. He got to go.
Yeah.
And then I'm going Jokic. But Embiid, the way he's playing right now, he's a beast. So AD gonna have to sit down and then go play cards or something. Whatever.
Yeah, everybody say if you don't cut AD, and people say if you don't cut AD, that's easy. Everybody cutting AD. That's too easy. You just got to figure out who to start out of the two, out of Olajuwon. out of Embiid and Joker. That's the only thing you got to worry about. That's it.
What about this one? Is that as easy as well? We just talked about Lopez earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get a chance? Does Lopez stay relevant, or do you cut Lopez? Do you cut the Eiffel stifle, or Draymond?
That's a tough one. But I'll start. I'm gonna start Gobert. I'll start Gobert. I'll bench. I'll start Gobert, bench Draymond. I'm gonna have to cut Lopez on that one.
I'm with him.
You cut Lopez?
Yeah. I'm with him. I'm cutting.
Comment. I think Khan is starting Lopez. I actually think Comment is starting Lopez. Am I correct, Khan?
Damn. I think it would depend upon who are your supporting cast. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I gotta cut Brooke.
Damn.
I gotta cut Brooke. I do. I gotta cut Brooke, and I'm keeping. Yeah, I'm doing just what CC.
I don't know. I go Gobert. I go Gobert. I guess.
Y'all making it seem like Draymond is that
Lopez, dude. Green, I'd have him shipped out somewhere.
I'm about to say y'all making it seem like Draymond's that dude.
So
but
he's an
Draymond's
asset.
a good role player, man.
Yeah,
like
he's an
he
asset.
understands the role, you know.
Yeah, he know how to play his role in the game on a team.
Name Draymond. If he went to any other team, would he be as effective? Any other team?
Good question. Good question. That is a good.
That's all you gotta think. Put him with any team, see how effective he would be.
I would love.
He's in the perfect system for
like
the perfect type of player that he is.
I think, and I'm so with that. I totally agree with what he just said because I feel like we've only seen what Draymond could be out there in Golden State. Would he be that effective and have that same type of energy and stuff like that at another team? I totally agree with that. I do.
I think his mindset is I think the only thing I like about Draymond is the mindset, the championship mindset. He seemed like he a champion, man. And once you're a champion,
a dog. Don't get me wrong.
I could see him playing. I could have seen him playing on some of the like. Imagine him playing in Cleveland when LeBron was there. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine him playing a role on those teams, on you know, like on those championship teams.
Okay,
you know,
but
on
on
other
that
championship
team,
teams.
he wouldn't be handling the ball like he does.
No,
Cleveland.
No, he would have a different
Because
role.
Kyrie's there.
Right. He would have a different role. His role would be rebound and D up. You know, like his role would shift. But I think he's one of those that can shift his role to fit whatever he's needed to do. You know, ego aside, I think.
Okay.
All right. I got another one for y'all. This one might be a little
man,
hard.
this guy's going.
All in their primes, but one
Oh,
all in their primes, but one must go. Ooh wee. You know what, Trey? I'm not even playing with you, dog. Not today. Not today. You can't release none of them
yeah.
in their prime.
It's 5
One
people
must
all
go.
in their prime, but one must go.
Yeah, you
Uh,
cannot. There's not one you
I'm
can.
dropping
Ooh.
Shaq. I'm dropping Shaq.
Ooh.
He's
Shaq in
about
his
to
prime?
but he's about to. How you drop Shaq
Why
in
not?
his prime though?
Why not KD in his prime?
In his prime? Are you
But this
serious?
is why I'm dropping Shaq,
Okay.
Let's hear it.
because what was him and Kobe's beef? Shaq didn't work hard. Once he got to a certain point, Shaq didn't do anything but just get bigger and bigger. He just kept ballooning. He didn't take the game as serious, you know. So yeah, I would cut Shaq from that squad.
Mm.
Shaq would have to go.
We said Shaq in his prime. In his
Yeah.
prime, he was dominant. When he went with the Lakers, he was kind of, like you said, it was with Kobe. They had beef, and he didn't take the game as serious enough. But I don't think he was really in his prime then. I think his first 3-4 years, he was really in his prime. That's what I think. So then, when he was with the Lakers, he wasn't really in his prime. But anyway, for whom? Oh man, yeah. This one got me on this one. I think if I had, I probably would take Shaq too. He got to go.
Mm.
I think he got to go again for the simple fact of the foul shot situation.
Yeah.
All good choices, in my opinion. That's what's up. It was like, it's when you look at that, it's like Kobe seems safe. LeBron seems safe. LeBron's still peaking, and he's probably past his prime at this point. But it definitely, I think, it would have been between KD and Shaq, in which I think I would have went with KD instead.
You think you would have cut KD?
Yeah.
But why
KD
would you
would
cut
go.
KD? I mean, one of the best free throw shooters in the game.
True. But it's I just look at it like KD in his prime. I think Shaq was in his prime was a little more dominant. It was a little more, had a lot more going on in his prime than KD has, for the most part. I mean, KD, like when would we consider KD's prime?
Because he
First
came
couple,
in
I
young,
guess,
right? Like he was one and done in
right when he got
college,
the
right?
MVP, right around that time he got the MVP. I would say right around that time. And then he was playing with Westbrook too, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But also KD can get his shot off at any spot on the court at any time. Now, especially when you come down to crunch time, instead of, we won't say his name, but taking 3-point fadeaways, you got someone who can get to his spot and shoot at any time during the course of a game. That means a lot, especially when it comes down to crunch time. And I think you got to take that into consideration. You can do anything, just give him the ball, he's going to shoot. He's very effective. You know what I mean? His field goal percentage, he takes great percentage shots at any time. I think you have to take that in consideration, whereas go inside the Shaq all the time. Shaq a hat. The KD can get you anytime, anywhere, any spot.
Mm. So what do you, of course, what do you think, or how long is it before? I know one of the first things, if y'all was listening, y'all caught early, the con man was talking about, he gave his Mount Rushmore, and one of his Mount Rushmores was, of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. With that being said, as we know, LeBron is on, I ain't gonna say he's on a mission. It seems like he's on a mission. How long before LeBron surpasses Kareem on the all-time scorers list?
If he goes the way he is, we're at 26 points a game. They said early February, or middle February.
So he's that close. He's going to do it this season.
If he stays up,
if he has to continue. He has to continue to score at a high, or like 20 plus points.
Well, yeah, around either before or after the All-Star break, he'll probably be in that territory.
But think about this though. I'm gonna put this into perspective. The reason, one of the reasons, I mean, of course, his longevity is a major issue. LeBron came out of high school,
right?
All these other guys you're talking about, they played 4 years of college. They didn't even leave early. Most of them didn't even leave early. So that's 4 years of scoring. Imagine Jabbar if he came out of high school.
Right.
Think of the numbers he would have put up. So nothing against LeBron, but he came out as a high school player. So that's 4 years, or at least 3 years, you can say, that, has given him, I won't say an advantage, because you still got to score a lot of points and do it for a long period of time. But,
right.
yeah, you're talking about
And he's
early
played
February.
he's played 5 more years than Michael Jordan, and he
Yeah.
played 5 more years than Michael Jordan.
Well, if Michael Jordan came out of high school, I'm just saying,
right. Yeah, the difference is, I give it to LeBron for longevity.
Yes.
Just to even be in that shape to still be able to compete at that level when everything is getting younger and younger. Like, you see the core players, the best players right now. Luka barely what, 22, 23?
Yeah.
Jason Tatum like 22, 23?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Freddie told you don't down what LeBron is doing in the comment.
Oh man, see, hey, I'm on the sports center. That's my boss. So I may get fired. You know what I'm saying? I love that dude though, but I may get fired. Hey, it is what it is, man. You gotta tell him stop taking them 100-foot 3-point shots.
So currently, when you look at it, we know Kareem 38,387 points scored. LeBron currently is at 37,592. Which is 5. Yeah, he's gonna definitely. I think he does it this year. That's without a doubt.
He don't do back to back, so if he just maintains about 25 points a game, he'll definitely do it in February. But and let me ask you guys a real quick question: because of the fact if they continue to handle themselves in the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, they may not even get in the play-in. How much of effect do you think him breaking the scoring record? How much of impact do you think it'll make? How much excitement will it draw, as opposed to if he were in, if they were in the playoff run, let's say, a championship run?
Well, yeah, I mean, I even think he gonna downplay it. I think he gonna downplay it also. Like, our team
agree.
not doing that well. It's about the team.
Exactly.
It's not about the points, but we know it's about the points. we all know it's about the points. And his true fans, like this Freddie guy that's on here, that's making up stuff.
Man.
Like you see the stuff that he making up right there with the scorer and all that. Like, for real. Like, who said LeBron wasn't a scorer? He's been a scorer his whole time in the league. When he got to Cleveland, what was he supposed to do? Not score?
I think he got career averages of like 26, 27.
I mean, LeBron's been a scorer since he's been in the league. So but his fans, his core fans, sometimes they're delusional with how they try to defend LeBron. It's like, for real, it's like, it is what it is, man. It's like, yo, he's a great player, but he's not the GOAT. That's just my opinion. And when you put him up against other people that have played the game, like take Kareem. Kareem didn't have a 3-point shot. Or, like, they didn't even have a 3-point shot when he started. But at the same time, Kareem did most of that with a sky hook. You know what I mean? I mean, that's greatness within itself, when you can use the same move over and over and they can't stop you. You got something you can go to every time and they can't stop you. So it's impressive. And Kareem played a long time as well. He played 20 years too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think more than that.
Yeah, he played a long time. So, take nothing away from LeBron, like I said, but, like, it won't be that much hype around it unless it's just the core LeBron fans stirring up stuff like that right there. Like, for not a scorer, but he's going to be number one,
So even if LeBron was to just play all 80 the rest of the season, which is 55 games, all he needs is 15 points a game to outscore Kareem. But we know, one, he's probably not going to play all the rest of the other 55 games, and two, he's not going to be relegated to 15 points a game. So so if you even look at 32, that reduces it to about 20 games at 30 points a game. But I don't think he's doing that. So it's coming. I think he does it. I think he does it in the next 25 games.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think
in the next 25 games.
Almost.
Okay.
Next 25 games. So definitely looking at that. What did y'all say? And we can go out on this. What do you say about the hype that was built behind Bronny and Carmelo's son. What's his name? Keon. What's Carmelo's son's name?
Kion.
Kion.
I think it's I think it's ESPN built hype in my opinion because
Okay.
the guy scored like 12 points. Bronny scored like 12 points. It wasn't even impressive.
Yeah,
Like
Bronny scored
neither one
12.
of them did anything
Yeah,
impressive.
Bronny
You
scored
know what I
12,
mean?
and Kion scored 8 off the bench. He's a sophomore.
Except a couple of dunks here and there that by Bronny or whatever. Other than that, it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't like Bron and Melo. You know what I mean? Those were two top high school athletes being showcased, which is why ESPN put them on TV in the first place. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. It was just these are the kids of those guys.
Who's the most impressive offspring?
The most
That's what
impressive.
makes it ESPN. The fact is, of course, they're going to try to, benefit themselves and the network by having them on because there's more viewerships and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Bronny is a very good player. I've been watching him for like 2-3 years now. I've been watching him. I mean, he's very quick. He can jump. He's got a good perimeter shot, but he's only 6'2". I don't know how effective he's going to be. And the fact is, his road to the NBA is going to be way more difficult than his dad. Who knows if he's going to go to college? He can sit out a year and then go to G League and try to make his way through that way, or he can go and play 1 year college. And it looks like Duke might be the front runner from what I'm hearing. So those are the two options. I think he's a good ball player. I think he is NBA. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think LeBron will be around.
Okay. So of course that's come close to our show for today. I greatly appreciate y'all gentlemen rocking with us this morning. Everyone that tapped in, that fell in with us this morning to be a part of the show and the debates in which we had and talked about today. Of course, I know y'all gentlemen both have your own show. Comment. Let's hear your show where we can catch you at again. When, where, what times?
My show's on Thursday nights, Sports Corner with the Con Man, and then I also on Friday evening I got a nice show called the AM1 Podcast, similar to what we did here today. That's Friday evenings on the Sports Empire Network at 10 p.m. on Friday and 8 p.m. on Thursday evenings. Y'all should tune and check it out. It's pretty good.
And CC, don't you tapping in tonight? CC, your show tonight?
Yes, Die Hard Feds every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on tonight talking sports as usual. And don't forget to check me out on the Stimulate Your Mind show every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, iHeartRadio, Apple, tuned in.
Okay, definitely. So, of course, y'all, anywhere out there listening, paying attention, catching this cast on the later, viewing it later. Y'all heard both the Con Man, the People's Coach, the Sim Show, and one, all that. You want to hear more sports content, definitely different formats, different styles, is all out there available for y'all. Be sure to tap into that. Gentlemen, any last words before we get up out of here?
I just want to say I enjoyed myself this morning. Y'all, great bunch. I'm looking forward to maybe come on again.
Yes, sir.
Had a great time. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all. Have a good one.
All right. Appreciate you. Y'all enjoy your day. So holla at y'all tomorrow. Y'all be sure to tap in tomorrow. Peace.